Whispers from below. A group of 5 adventurous campers, led by the daring but reckless Jake, decide to explore a rarely visited area of the national park. Ignoring the faded restricted area signs and the local legends, they venture deep into the dense forest. Among them is Mia, a curious and somewhat superstitious member, who is uneasy about the trip but doesn't want to be left out. As night falls, they set up camp near an eerie, mist-covered lake. The campfire flickers as they share stories, but Mia feels a chilling sensation, as if they're being watched. Strange sounds echo through the trees, distant, unnatural whispers that unsettle the group. The next morning, they discover that one of their friends, Liam, is missing. His tent is torn open, belongings scattered. Panic sets in, but Jake convinces them to split up and search. As the day progresses, more campers vanish in a similar fashion, leaving only Jake and Mia. Mia stumbles upon an ancient stone structure partially buried in the earth. Inside, she finds a labyrinth of tunnels leading to a vast underground lair. The walls are etched with strange symbols and filled with belongings of countless missing people. Mia, horrified, realizes that this is the den of the malevolent entity, a creature of nightmares that has been luring people into its trap for years. The entity, feeding on fear and human flesh, reveals itself as a shapeless, shadowy form, with eyes that glow with malevolence. Jake, driven by guilt and terror, joins Mia in the lair. They confront the entity, trying to find a way to defeat it. In a harrowing battle of wits and wills, they use the symbols on the walls, which represent ancient wards, to weaken the creature. As the entity falters, the cavern begins to collapse. Mia and Jake, injured but alive, manage to escape, the entity's enraged howls echoing behind them. They emerge into the night, the forbidden part of the park now sealed off by the fallen debris. Mia and Jake report their findings, but the authorities are skeptical. The park is closed for investigation, but the truth about the entity remains buried. As Mia revisits the park's entrance years later, she overhears a ranger talking about new disappearances, suggesting that the entity, though trapped, continues to haunt the area. The story ends with Mia's determined look, hinting at her resolve to face the entity again, armed with the knowledge of the ancient wards. Shadows Among Us. The Tree-Line Terror. A group of friends, led by the charismatic but impulsive Max and the level-headed Sarah, venture into a secluded forest for a weekend camping trip. The forest is dense and ancient, with a history of mysterious disappearances, which the group dismisses as urban legends. As they settle in, an unnerving feeling grips them. They notice something moving in the tree line, a shadow that never fully reveals itself. Dismissing it as wildlife, they try to enjoy their trip, but the sensation of being watched grows stronger. The next day, one of the campers, Alex, goes missing. A frantic search yields no trace. Tension mounts as night falls, and another camper, Jenna, disappears. Panic sets in, with accusations flying. Max tries to maintain order, but fear is taking over. Unbeknownst to the group, the entity in the tree line is a sinister shapeshifter. It has been observing them, learning their behaviors. It abducts and replaces Jenna, seamlessly integrating into the group. Jenna sows seeds of mistrust, hinting at betrayal among them. Paranoia escalates as more campers vanish and are replaced. The group fractures, with members turning on each other. Sarah begins to suspect something is profoundly wrong, noticing subtle changes in her friend's behavior. In a climactic confrontation, Sarah uncovers the truth when she witnesses the shapeshifter mid-transformation. She realizes in horror that she is the only original camper left. The rest, including Max, are now duplicates, mere extensions of the malevolent entity. Confronting the shapeshifter, Sarah learns of its ancient origin and its delight in tormenting humans. It thrives on fear and chaos, having haunted the forest for centuries. In a desperate bid to escape, Sarah sets the camp ablaze, causing confusion among the shapeshifters' forms. Amidst the fire and chaos, she flees into the forest. Sarah, pursued by the shapeshifter, uses her knowledge of the forest to evade capture. As dawn breaks, she stumbles out of the forest, exhausted but alive. Behind her, the fire has consumed much of the tree line, and with it, the shapeshifter's forms. The authorities dismiss Sarah's story as trauma from the tragic fire that claimed her friends. The forest is closed off, with the official story being a tragic accident. Sarah, however, knows the truth. The final scene shows a new group of campers entering a different part of the forest, as something watches from the tree line, the cycle beginning anew. Forest of Shadows, the Unseen Terror. A group of adventurous friends, Olivia, Ethan, Grace, Marcus, and Lily, embark on a camping trip in a remote, lush forest. They laugh and share stories, unaware of the lurking presence. As they settle in, strange occurrences begin. Items move on their own, and they hear whispers in the wind. The group initially dismisses these as pranks or imagination, but tension mounts as the experiences grow more unsettling. One by one, the campers experience terrifying hallucinations. Ethan sees shadowy figures, Grace hears voices accusing her of betrayal, and Marcus is tormented by visions of his deepest fears. They become isolated in their own distorted realities, unable to differentiate between hallucination and truth. Trust disintegrates as paranoia takes hold. Accusations fly, leading to violent confrontations. Olivia, the most level-headed, tries to maintain peace, but is helpless as her friends spiral into madness. One night, the chaos peaks, and in a frenzy of fear and confusion, they turn on each other. As dawn breaks, Olivia finds herself alone, surrounded by the consequences of the night's madness. She is horrified to discover that in their delusion, they had attacked each other, leading to the tragic demise of her friends. Olivia, traumatized and disoriented, stumbles through the forest, desperate to escape. She eventually finds her way out, leaving behind the sinister presence that had toyed with their minds. Olivia attempts to return to normal life, but the scars of the forest run deep. She is plagued by nightmares, hallucinations, and crippling guilt over her friends' deaths. Her reality is forever altered, as she can no longer trust her senses or the world around her. In a chilling twist, Olivia begins to notice subtle anomalies in her environment, hinting that the psychic entity's influence extends beyond the forest. She realizes that while she escaped the physical confines of the forest, the entity has embedded itself in her psyche, continuing its torment. The story closes with Olivia, now a shell of her former self, resigned to her fate. She understands that the entity, a malevolent force beyond comprehension, has irrevocably shattered her perception of reality. The final scene is a haunting depiction of Olivia, sitting alone, as whispers from the forest echo in her mind, a grim reminder of the indelible impact of the entity's manipulation.